Welcome back, everyone, to part two of speaking with Amanda Stein, CEO of Quantum Catalyzer. And we have had very interesting discussion. At least I'm learning a lot. You're an expert in quantum computing, or I'm
Yeah, quantum technology. So actually, I appreciate that you said quantum computing because a lot of people think that quantum computing is the only quantum technology. But as you said in the beginning, when you were introducing me, Quantum Catalyzer, my company focuses on the research and development of quantum sensors, which essentially is the same principles that are used, the same things that are used to harness the quantum effects for quantum computers also make quantum computers extremely fragile. That fragility is actually a really great sensor. So quantum sensing uses surrounding environments at the atomic level to be able to detect things like radiation, vibration, magnetic properties, temperature, pressure at extremely sensitive levels. So a lot of what we work on is imaging of systems and being able to detect at very, very, very minute levels magnetic properties.
or like what types of systems are we talking?
Yeah,
No, I mean, is it health? I mean,
it could be. So,
okay.
so, so there's, as I was saying before, there's so many potential applications of this technology as it's coming out of academia. One of the things that we're doing here is commercializing and thinking about what are the bigger applications and where are the bigger markets for this. So I mentioned Euclid, one of our startup companies, they're focusing on this quantum imaging and that we do for microelectronics. So all semiconductors or batteries or anything that goes into your iPhone is pulling off tiny micro signals of magnetic waves. That is what we can measure. So Euclid is commercializing and putting together products that be able to detect these tiny microscopic magnetic waves coming from microelectronics. Then you mentioned health, so that is definitely a big area as well. So there's something called MCG, and I'm totally gonna butcher the name. So we'll just go with MCG and MEG. MEG works with the brain, and MCG works with the heart. The C stands for cardiac. And so your heart, your brain, really any cell in your body could be giving out a magnetic signal. And quantum is able to look at the or image things at the atomic level. So being able to look for signals at that very, very, very sensitive level. Quantum sensing specifically came out of the precision measurement community, where, of course, precision, you're getting precise measurements of things.
I mean, so we talk about, I mentioned quantum computing. Can it be used? I mean, because I'm reading AI and all this stuff, and I don't want to make this whole thing about AI, but about the vast, vast, vast amounts of data processing. Can some of this technology be used to suck up gigs, terabytes, whatever other names for gazillions of bytes?
Yeah, actually, quantum sensing is a way to generate even more data because we are unlocking unknown data. So, for instance, Arc Sensors, I mentioned before, is one of our startup companies, and Arc Sensors is going to be focused on sensing in extreme environments. So, essentially, where no sensor has gone before. And so, think about if you bring a sensor into extreme radiation environment, let's say in Mars. Uh, what information can you get now from that particular sensor that
Well,
you
you're
couldn't get
starting
from
to talk
sensors
to Elon
before?
Musk about this?
No. I mean, hey, if anybody wants to introduce me, I'd be happy to.
Uh, and then you're actually, are you selling the products? Are you selling the technology? Is it like an SaaS type of thing? Like what exactly are you providing?
Yeah, so Quantum Catalyzer specifically is providing a lot of the research and development and the very early productization. And then, as I mentioned before, if it's promising, we'll put it in a startup company. So Euclid, our first startup company, is selling something called the quantum diamond microscope. It looks like a microscope, and diamond, as I mentioned before, is what we work on. So how there is a piece of diamond that's lab grown. We actually work very closely with a company called Element 6, which is part of the De Beers Corporation and the research and development arm that's building out quantum grade diamonds. So this diamond is essentially lab grown and grown in a way so that it's missing one of its atoms. And then based on the way light is shown through this piece of diamond, then with a sample on top of it, you're able to pick up these very small magnetic properties of whatever sample that you're imaging. So the quantum diamond microscope has now a lot of utility in the paleomagnetism community, which is essentially dating ancient rocks based on the magnetic properties of ancient rocks.
I just saw something that some piece of stone and a piece of something from Mars or Mercury. There's very few of them, and I guess someone has to analyze it.
Yeah.
It's going to be like selling for $5 million or something. Uh,
Well, yeah. So there you go. Our microscope might be able to tell you various magnetic principles of that. But so now our microscope is being sold in Euclid, and the same type of platform technology is now being used for microelectronics application as well.
I know, and I'm not sure how involved with an incubator. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so essentially quantum catalyzers kind of like an incubator for lack of a better term. We like to say that we're a catalyzer, that we start the reaction of things going. But we essentially are working with the promising applications and tools and lab work coming from, as we said, to start with Ron Walsworth's lab, specifically in this nitrogen vacancy and diamond quantum sensing. But maybe one day, with time and more money and more people, will be able to go and scout out other promising applications in quantum science. But let me tell you, there's been so many really interesting applications that have been coming out of his lab and some of his collaborators' labs that we could probably over time have many more startup companies. And that would be one of the goals of Quantum Catalyzers, to have startup companies as they make sense. So in QCAT, we're doing a lot of this R&D work to say, we do think this one technologically could be a good company. And two, we also do a lot of market research and actually see if we can build some partnerships and see if there could be traction for people actually wanting to buy some form of our quantum sensing products. And so, there could be more companies, one in life sciences one day, perhaps, that really could benefit from the work that we're doing.
Wow. I mean, I can see how your day is very busy.
Yeah.
It sounds extremely exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. It's been really interesting to see how quantum science has really changed over the last 5 years and some of the major breakthroughs. And where quantum computing does probably get the most attention, and there's probably, and I don't know the exact numbers, many more quantum computing companies or quantum computing companies that are focused on various applications or the softwares, or quantum networking is another term that you hear around. There's many companies, but not that many that are actually putting products into market, like what we did with the quantum diamond microscope and
Yeah.
now what Euclid is doing. So we're really excited about that. And it just shows that this quantum sensing world is going to be, in my opinion, near term than quantum computers. You and I are not going to be buying quantum computers. At best, in our lifetime, quantum computers will be in a data center to do things that behind the scenes that you and I don't know what's happening, but they
Right.
just become
Right. But
better.
you're actually having products that actually do something with it,
Exactly. And
or just generate more stuff so that they can do
yeah,
more
yeah, yeah.
computing.
I mean, the promise of what could be done with quantum sensors is very practical and real world. So, talking about whatever magnetic levels are coming through your body, could there be some sort of sensor that goes over your body that detects if there's a magnetic signal coming from one particular place in your body? So, it will be a long road to development. It is a long road to get started and takes quite a bit of funding, but I will say on scale less than quantum computing.
Somebody said the longest journey begins with the first step.
Exactly. I always think that quantum catalyzer is at least the second step coming from
All right, there we
academia.
go. There we go. Well, thank you very much. You provided a lot of information, and to me, it's very interesting. What I'm going to ask you for after this is to provide me some information if anyone's interested in the funding, and if anyone's interested in contacting you regarding any collaboration or
Yeah.
with respect to an incubator or whatever, and we'll post it at the end of this podcast.
Yeah,
How's
that'd
that
be
sound?
great. Thank you.
All right. Well, anything else? Any final
Um,
comments?
we'll keep an eye out for quantum sensing. I think quantum computing is doing extremely well and has had a big run up and will continue to. But I think that quantum sensors are on a breakthrough sometime very soon.
All right. Well, I know. I can't wait to see what comes
Yeah,
next.
thank you.
All right. Well, take care and thank you to all my viewers and looking forward to seeing you on the next episode of Unraveling Intellectual Property with Michael Stein. Take care, everyone.